Chris here. Today, we're going to be breaking down an anomaly that occurred on my daily commute. So stick around. When it comes to learning this whole situational awareness thing, I find that it helps to break down known incidents into their various components in order to better apply this skill set in real time. If you're not familiar with the process, I'll leave a link in the video description below that will help you understand. A lot of times we tend to focus our assessments on the individuals and groups within an area.
It's important to remember that baselines and anomalies are not limited to only people and behaviors. Assessing the entirety of what is observable, which includes everything you can see, hear, smell, taste, and feel, are equally as important. This is part of my daily commute. It's an underground metro with two means of getting from the lower level to the upper level, an escalator and an elevator. Frequently traveling through this area allows me to have a better understanding of the baseline, what is normal in this specific environment, the area itself, and the actions of other people.
Over the last few years, I've conducted hundreds of hasty and deliberate searches of this area. Having such intimate knowledge of a specific area makes it extremely easy to conduct assessments and then decide on an action.
Today, my initial assessment is that there are negative atmospherics, meaning that something is making me uncomfortable.
The flashing red lights that are reflected on the ceiling, that's the anomaly here. This tells me that there's some sort of emergency vehicle on the upper level.
This is a video from a separate incident, but I want to use it to highlight that in my area, red flashing lights are used for fire trucks and emergency medical services, with blue lights being reserved for law enforcement. So this tells me that it's most likely going to be a medical or a fire emergency on the upper level. Now what I need to do is figure out if there's any immediate danger, and I accomplish this by look, listen, feel for any additional anomalies. Do I see or smell smoke or gas, fires? Do I see people running? Do I hear any announcements, screaming, gunshots? Do I feel any heat, etc.? If we compare this video to a video that shows the baseline of this area, we can see that a key indicator for this assessment is that there is a lack of proxemic push. We don't observe people coming from the upper level down the escalator in a manner that shows they're in fear or that there's an active threat. They're following the social norms. There are three main exits to get out of the metro station once you get to the upper level. The first is the main exit here, and elevators right over here. There's a third exit on the back side that is located over here. Knowing the layout of the station, I know that the only way for the lights to reflect on the ceiling like they were is if the emergency vehicles were located right outside of the front entrance. If you look here, this is an exit, this is all open area, and there's another exit over here. This area here opens directly above the escalators. So I know that there has to be emergency vehicles in this area to be reflecting the way that they were. This is the back side of the metro, and as you can see, it's impossible for the lights to be reflecting where they're reflecting if the emergency vehicles were located on this side. So now that you have an idea of the layout of the metro and the exits, I want to talk about the options that I had available and what I decided to do. There are several options. I could have gotten back on the train, went forward or backwards a station, and then walked from there or taken a taxi or an Uber. I could come up the escalator and then come out the front side or go out the back side, or I could have taken the elevators. Ultimately, based on my assessment that it's emergency vehicles for medical or fire, that there's no proxemic push, everybody's following the social norms, I don't hear or observe anything else that lets me believe that I'm in immediate danger, I decided I would go up the escalator and out the back side. Because if I would have taken the elevators, I would end up in this area over here. And if I would have taken the escalator to the front side, I would be in this area here, all of which puts me right where the emergency vehicles would have been. There are two main lessons that I want you to take away from this video. Number one, our assessments are not only limited to people and behaviors. We need to assess the entirety of what is observable. And two, if we're going to travel to or through a location frequently, we need to be thoroughly familiar with the area. That way, if there's an emergency, we can quickly make an assessment and then decide on an action.
That's all that I have for you in this video. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and remember, no one has more to lose when it comes to your safety than you do.